Hi everyone, welcome back to our YouTube channel. I'm in Azure. Hope you all are doing good and safe wherever you are. So I am back again with a new content, which is the part 2 of Azure API management. So if you haven't gone through my part 1, I will leave a link to that video in the description. So what essentially we have covered in the part 1 is we have discussed what is an API, what is an APIM, and how we can leverage the service, the API management service to protect or secure the APIs. How can we create an instance of API management inside Azure? Then we have created uh, products, subscriptions for the APIs that we have imported. We have imported a Swagger specification into API management, and we have explored the development portal as well. So you can go through that in my part 1 video. So in the part 2 video, we're going to cover something on the policies that APIM supports out of box. So let's get started on that. So before that, I would like to thank everyone who has been actively watching my videos and showing some encouragement on this. If if some of you are still not subscribed to my channel, please go and subscribe to channel. And if you have any questions, please post them on the uh, comment section. I will be happy to help you on that. Yeah, so let's go and start on current session. Yeah, so I have added few desks, few slides to the deck that we have used in the part 1, and we're going to continue from this point now. So what is this policies and how they're going to help us? We're going to talk on that. So Azure API management provides a feature called policies, which is powerful a feature that will be used by API developers. They can add some kind of policies in the gateway, and they can change the behavior of the APIs that they have at the backend. And what this policy is, basically the policy is simple statements that you can configure. It is a XML based syntax that you need to add into this as a configuration in your gateway, and the gateway will be responsible to validate all the policies that you will be assigned. And these policies are I mean, the configuration is actually divided into 4 parts. One is uh, you can add the XML configuration in inbound policy, backend policy, or else in the outbound policy, or else if you see some error while processing your request or sending out the response to the consumer, then you can add a policy in the on error section, where it will tweak the response and it will give the user in a meaningful way. So if you look at, if I add some important points on this, whatever the policy that you add in the inbound policy will be executed by the gateway when the API management API is called by the consumer or the client, and the policies that you created in backend policy will be called by gateway whenever just before the request is going to your backend API. Also, whenever you get response, the response will also be validated in the backend policies again by the gateway. And if you want some policies like the transformation policies to convert your JSON to XML or XML to JSON, or else if you want to validate some kind of schemas that you are passing to the user, you can do all that in the outbound policy. And on error policy, as I mentioned before, if there is any error during the execution, all policies will be skipped and on error policy will be executed. So you can add policies inside this on error section as well. Then here is the list of some policies that you can assign. Basically, you can assign policies to restrict some access of users, which includes like call rate limit by key or by subscription, or else you can restrict IPs, you can restrict usage quota. You can add all those policies are available in access restriction policies. I will be showing you this on the Azure portal as well. Then you have some set of policies related to authentication. You have some policies related to cache. That cache is one more feature that is supported by Microsoft. And also some policies that you can assign for cores as well. Some transformation policies you can assign. Then you can also assign validation policies. Validation policies includes policies like validating the content, whether the size or schema of the JSON that you are passing, either it is in the request or the response, it can be validated against the API schema. You can also validate headers. You can also validate the HTTP status codes with the API response that you are passing. So these are some kind of policies that you can assign. You have to just add these policies by using the policy editor. I will show you this as well on the screen. Yeah, then the next point is the policy scope. So you can assign policies at different levels. So you can assign a policy globally to the entire management instance, API management instance, meaning it will be applicable to all the products or all the APIs or all the operations inside your instance. Or else a policy can also be assigned either on product level, or else on the API level, or else you can configure policies at operation level as well. And there is a hierarchy or else an order of execution, how the policies will be executed. Policies are executed sequentially basically, and the order will be decided by the order how we put the policies in the policy editor. If you have a policy at global level and a policy configured for an API, then whatever the particular API is used, both policies will be applied on the API call. Yeah, so we're gonna talk more on this when we go to UI, the Azure UI, then you will understand it a bit more clear. So let me just hover over to screen. I will just go to Azure Portal now, then you will, yeah. So this is the instance that we have created earlier. So we're gonna go to API the API section, and this is the API that we have imported in our part 1, and we have created a product as well. If you have missed that part, please watch out my part 1 on the same. Yeah, so you have seen on PPT that this is the inbound processing, then backend where you configure your endpoint, and outbound processing you can modify the response before it's sent to the client. And also you have some policies that you can add here as well. So basically, to open a policy editor, you can click on here. You see this is available on the front end, that is in the inbound, then in the outbound, and also at the backend also. And also I mentioned about the scope. You can assign policies on the API. So if you select all operations, it will be assigned on all the operations that are under this API. Or else if you select just one operation here, you can also add policy on the operation as well. Again, you can add it on different sections like the inbound, backend, outbound, or else on error. Yeah, and this base is the one that will generally, the position of base will explain the order of execution. If you put it here and you add your policy after that, that means your policy will be executed after executing the top level policies. Like in this case, if you are assigning this policy at individual operation, then first the policies that are assigned at global level, then product level, then API level will be executed, then your product operation level policy will be executed. And the vice versa, if you add it above base, then first your policy at operation will be executed, then it will take care of the policies at higher levels. And I mentioned there are a different set of policies that you can add, and you have some here, like when you click on show snippets, these are some set of policies like authentication related policies, caching related policies, access restriction related policies, then advanced policies where you can send out your response that you get, you can send out to yeah, to some backend service you can forward, or else if there is any errors you can log that to Event Hub. Then from Event Hub you can trigger some kind of Azure functions or do some kind of automation. Then you have retry logic, other things here. Then you can also enable CORS. If you want to transform your response, you can also do that. You can transform your request also. So you can use transform related policies for that. Also, you have some set of tapper policies. You have some policies for validation too. We're gonna show you some policies, and as we go along in the same series, we might use a few more policies that we see here. And if you look at here, some policies are actually grayed out. Now, if you look at this is grayed out, then this policy is grayed out. This is why, because these policies are not applicable at this scope. Now, scope in the sense it is not applicable at the individual operations. You have to use a different scope for this. So a policy can be assigned at different scopes, right? But there is some limitation on that as well. Yeah, so that's a part on this. So what I will do now is I will create some policy at API level. So this is the API that we have imported in our part 1. So let's come here and we're going to add an inbound processing rule. So let me just refresh this. It's been a while now, so I will just refresh this. Yeah, so let's go here and let's start adding your policies. You can click on this, then it will show up the policy editor. Let me just expand and let's add a policy after your base. So what I will do is I will just add access restriction policy, that is limit calls per subscription. So what essentially this policy will do is whenever you subscribe to a product, you can use the subscription keys in order to call the APIs. Now you can restrict the number of calls within some period that you want. So I'm not going to talk about any particular API. So let's just limit this. And number of calls, I want only 3 calls within a period of 20 seconds. So what this means eventually is whenever you call any endpoint, any operation in this, you can call only 3 times within a period of 20 seconds. That part I'm going to show it now. Let's go to development portal. I'm just refreshing this and let me sign in first. So I'm going to use my guest account that I have created and I have subscribed. Yeah, just give me a minute. I will just sign in. And we have actually subscribed to some of the products as well. So, yeah, there you go. And I'm going to API now. And to this API, we have actually added our policy. So let's go here and let's try to call this now. Let's send the request. So you got 200 and you got some JSON. Let's send it few more times. So I'm trying it 4th time. Now, if you see this message, this is 429. So the 429 status code is for too many requests. That means you have a limit. Please try in 10 seconds. So it is also giving you the time. So after 10 seconds, if you try, you will again get the JSON response. See, this is how it works. So you can add this policies out of box. You don't need to add any part of code in your API section. So you just have to configure this policy basically. Yeah, so we have added a policy at API level, right? So we also talked that we can add policies at product level also. So I will go to product, and this is a product that we have created in our part 1. So here we have a option called policies. You can come here and you can add policies here as well. So if you want to go to this screen, that is editor, you can add on editor, or else when you click on this, it will give you list of policies. So this is a set of policies that you can use. There is a learn more option also. When you click on that, it will take you to the documentation, which has a detailed explanation of what each policy will do basically. So if you click on any one, let's say I will click on this set usage quota by subscription, you can get much more information on this, like whether you want the quota, you want to define bandwidth or the volume, and you have some kind of variables that you need to pass. And also you have some information like the description for each attributes or else each element, all that information is available. Also you can see at what section and at what scope you can assign this policy. So basically this policy is available only for product scope, and you can only able to add this policy in the inbound session. But if you look at the other policies, the documentation clearly says what all other policies or what are other sections or scopes you can assign policies. So this is assigned at all scopes, but in inbound. Yeah, so basically you will see that all in documentation. Yeah, this is all inbound, but if you take some cache related or authentication related, you will see some other info. Okay, so this is all inbound. Yeah, so we're gonna add a policy at product level, right? So let me just add this policy, which is IP filtering policy. So what this essentially will do is it will block a range of IPs. So you can give a range of IPs that you want to block. You can add a filter. So your from IP and to IP you can just give. So let me just grab my IP address. Yeah, so this is my IP. So I will add it here. So if I want to give a set of IPs, IP range, then you can also give, or else I am fine only with one IP for now. If you go to editor, you will be able to see that here. Now this is allowed. Let's just block this. So for block, you have to add forbid, and let's just save this. This means if I call by using this API now, I mean the product, any APIs within this product, I won't be able to access with my current IP. So let's just try out that as well. Yeah, so let's just try to send a request now and see. Yeah, so you see this message, you have a different message with a status code 403, and it says forbidden, and the message is forbidden. So now you can clearly say that the policy that you have assigned at product level actually is blocking your IP. So what we can do is, see, this message is not properly giving that message. This is just saying forbidden, but we are not sure what is the reason for the forbidden. So what we can do is we can customize this by using the error section. So you can handle these errors by using the error handling in the API management. So you can add policies. So let's just go to one more policy here. Let's add, and this time we're gonna add a policy at outbound. Sorry, not the outbound, in the error page, error section. So on error, you want to add. So basically implicitly this API calls or else API management, it will implicitly give you some context variable that you can call, and you can use that in order to debug or else write expressions inside your policy. So the context variable has some kind of members with the help of which you can use that here and get the error message, or else the subscription details, product details, all that you can get. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pass the response in the body. So set body, you can add this XML set -body, and I'm going to close this set -body. So if any error comes, we're gonna change this. Now we have to add an expression. So if you are using a single line expression, then you can use this open and close braces, or else if you have a multi-line, then you can use a curly braces. You just, if you have multi-line response that you want to send, you can use that. For now, in my case, I'm just going with a single line, so I'm good with this. And we're gonna use this variable. So for variable, that is context dot, then we're going to use a property, that is error last error dot, and a property on this property, so message. So now what you will say is uh, in the response, whenever there is an error, you will see the message of the error on your screen. So let's just save this. I will show you on the screen so that it will be easy for you to understand. Yeah, so we have saved this policy here. Now let's just go and try out this API call. See, this time you got this 403, but this time you got the message. Now what it says caller API, sorry, the caller IP is blocked. That is why your access is denied. So you can customize this as well. Right now this is in the body, you can add it in the headers also. So you can eventually, this is set body, right? So you can also add set header, HEADER header, and you can read other parameters. Basically, I will just show you that. Yeah, so you can use same expression. This is a C# expression, and put this type. I'm going to call a different property instead of a message. This time I'm going to use scope, so that I will see at what scope this is given. Okay, so this is error in element. Okay, so you have to add some attributes as well. So let's just go and see that. Set header policy in API management, and here you can search for set header. Yeah, so basically you have to give this. So let's just copy this and you can set it here. Yeah, header name, I'm going to give it scope, and each of this has different meanings, so we're going to override this. You can always look at documentation for that. And value, this time scope. Let's just save this. Yeah, we have saved this. Let's just try out. Okay, yeah, if you see this, this is giving you the scope. Now the scope is at what level this policy is assigned. This is assigned a product, so you are getting it as product. Yeah. What else I can show you? Yeah, you, if you want all this information, you can go to, you can just search for Azure API management policy reference. And this will give you this policy reference index, will give you all this policies that you can assign. You just have to read and add according to your needs. And also I would like to highlight one more point. See, when you go here and when you try to add a policy, and yeah, let's just take this an example. If, let's say, if you're adding it backend, you don't know what is the syntax for this, and this no shipment part is not available with this product. So if you want to use, or if you want to test all this, you have an Visual Studio extension as well. You can add, you can use this extension to add policies or test your API endpoints. There are a lot of things that an extension can do. So I'm going to cover about this Visual Studio extension in my next part. So for now, I am just closing this section just with the policies. Yeah, so that's all I have for today. If you have any questions, again, please do comment it on the comment section, or else if you need any help on this or any new sections, please let me know. I will be reading out those. Also, if you, yeah, please subscribe to the channel and hit a like and uh, share with your friends or colleagues, so that it will be helpful for everyone. Yeah, that's all I have. Thank you so much. Thanks everyone. Bye.